Once, in a quiet village nestled between rolling green hills, there lived a boy named Aaron. By all accounts, Aaron was an ordinary child. He loved daydreaming beneath the banyan tree, watching clouds drift lazily across the sky, and idly tossing pebbles into the nearby stream. But what set Aaron apart was his reputation. He was known throughout the village as the laziest boy anyone had ever met. Aaron's mornings began long after the sun had climbed high into the sky. While other children hurried to finish their chores, Aaron yawned, stretched, and wondered why he had to do anything at all. His room was always messy, his homework perpetually unfinished, and his mother's gentle reminders floated in one ear and out the other. One day, Aaron's grandfather came to visit. He was an old man with wise eyes and a gentle smile, and he had traveled the world in his youth. Sensing Aaron's lack of motivation, he decided to tell him a story. "Listen, Aaron," his grandfather began as they sat beneath the banyan tree. "When I was about your age, I too was lazy. I believed that big changes came only from big actions. But one day, my teacher told me something that changed my life forever. Small habits, practiced every day, can transform even the laziest person into someone extraordinary." Aaron frowned, unconvinced. "But how can a tiny habit make any difference? It's just so small." Grandfather smiled. "Let me show you." He picked up a single seed from the ground. "If you plant this seed and care for it, day by day, it becomes a tree. Not overnight, but slowly, with patience and persistence. Habits are like seeds. Nurture them, and they grow into something powerful." Inspired but still skeptical, Aaron decided to try. He began with the smallest habit he could think of, making his bed every morning. The first day, he grumbled and pulled the blanket over the mattress. The second day, he straightened the pillow. By the end of the week, he found himself taking pride in how neat his bed looked. Surprisingly, this tiny act made him feel accomplished. Encouraged, he added another habit, putting his shoes away after removing them. Soon, his room became tidier. His parents noticed the change and praised him, which made Aaron feel proud. The praise motivated him further, and bit by bit, he began tackling his homework earlier in the day, setting aside just 10 minutes at first. What Aaron didn't realize was that each small habit was building a foundation of discipline and responsibility. Over time, those few minutes added up. When his friends invited him to play, he found he had already finished his work. He had more time to enjoy his favorite pastimes, without the nagging feeling that something was left undone. Months passed, and the villagers began to notice the change in Aaron. The boy who once lounged about now helped his mother in the kitchen, kept his room neat, and approached his studies with a newfound sense of purpose. He even began waking up a little earlier, eager to see what he could accomplish that day. One afternoon, as he sat with his grandfather under the banyan tree, Aaron reflected on his journey. "Grandfather," he said, "I never thought that making my bed every morning would change me, but now I see the power of small habits." His grandfather nodded. Big changes rarely happen all at once, but with patience, consistency, and belief in yourself, even the smallest actions can lead to greatness. Aaron smiled, understanding at last. He realized that laziness wasn't a permanent part of who he was. It was simply a habit, like any other. And by choosing to practice positive habits, even the tiniest ones, he could shape his own future. Inspired by his transformation, Aaron began to share his story with other children in the village. He encouraged his friends to start with small habits, helping with chores, reading a page each night, or simply smiling at someone each morning. Slowly, the spirit of the village began to change. Laughter echoed through the streets, gardens bloomed, and the children grew more confident and responsible. In time, Aaron's story became a legend in the village. People would say, "If the laziest boy could change his life, so can anyone." And whenever a new challenge arose, Aaron remembered his grandfather's words. Small habits, practiced every day, can transform even the laziest person into someone extraordinary. So, the next time you feel overwhelmed by a big goal or discouraged by your own limitations, remember Aaron's story. Start small. Make your bed. Tidy your shoes. Read a page. For in those tiny, consistent moments lies the surprising power to change your life forever.